Jaret, getting ready for the second game of this road swing through the Central Division, at least this portion of the road swing, coming off a tough loss against the Milwaukee Admirals, looked to rebound today against the Rockford Ice Hogs. Let's start with that game the other night. What did you see throughout that 7-3 loss?
We didn't defend. We weren't hard enough. They won all the battles in front of the net. It seemed like, and there was a little stretch there where we just kind of lost our composure there for that a 10-minute stretch or whatever it was in the second period, and they took advantage of our opportunities, and it's hard to climb out of a hole once you've dug it. But I thought we had a good first period in that game, so just kind of get back to that style of game we were playing there.
It's a few games now in recent weeks that you've had real good starts. So what's leading to that getting out to a good jump?
I'm not sure. I think just it's we've kind of been talking about it with the coaches and in the room, just how important it is to get off to a quick start, especially on the road trip here. And like I said, when you're playing from behind, it's a lot different than playing with a lead there. So it's something we've been focusing on and been doing a good job. But then it's just keeping the foot on the pedal and putting together 60 minutes.
Yeah, you're not always going to outshoot teams by 10 or something like that in a period, but how do you sustain kind of that, at least that tone, that tempo from that start all the way through 60 minutes?
I think it's just, kind of keeping the focus on, and having the recognition of what's been working. I think, sometimes when you get the lead, you tendencies kind of take the foot off the pedal, and, that's on, leadership and the guys that have been around for a while to, make sure the group is focused and, recognizing what made us successful in that first period the other night, and just staying the same way, not changing anything, and continuing to put pressure on. That's when we're at our best, is when we're, making the D turn, holding on pucks in D zone, D men are getting shots through and winning battles in front of the net.
Seen more penalties creeping into the game of late. What do you think leads to that, and how can you get more back to that disciplined play that we've seen throughout most of the season so far?
Yeah, I think, it's a lot of the penalties I feel like are, guys are, obviously trying to make an impact on the game. It's just being smart about it. So, it's not like anybody's, trying to, taking selfish penalties or anything like that. Some of them happen here and there, but for the most part, it's just playing hard. So, those are going to happen, and the penalty kill obviously wasn't great the other night. So you just when it happens, you got to be ready to go on the penalty kill, and that just creates momentum for the group.
I wanted to ask you about Danny Zhilkin. Got into his second National Hockey League game last night. You've been lined up with him around 20 times this season. What's it been like to see his development this season, see him get that opportunity?
Yeah, it's great. You're obviously super happy for him. He's taken so many steps this season, and it just shows the hard work he's put in is paying off, and it's good to see him, see those clips of him, being emotional about the call up, and you just realize how much it means to guys and to him especially, and how hard he works. So just couldn't be happy for him, and hopefully he keeps playing well up there.
Yeah, I mean, you've been in that position, you've gotten that call up before. I mean, do you have any advice for him as he was heading on out the door?
No, I didn't really get to see him. I just shot him a text and just said congrats and enjoy it. And but yeah, I think you just it's kind of hard. You want to obviously have the adrenaline when you go up there and you want to make a huge impact, but sometimes you don't want to be doing too much and kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So it's kind of just having the poise that he's shown all year down here, but. It's just different. It's hard to really give advice about it, but he's got so many great tools that he can use. He's a good two-way guy, so whatever situations they put him up there, I'm sure he's going to do well.
Shifting our focus to tonight's game, fifth time you'll see the Rockford Ice Hogs this season. What have you learned about this team, and what are you expecting from them here tonight?
Yeah, they're good off the rush. They make plays. That top line. With Sini and those guys proven they can make plays throughout their career. So it's managing the puck, and I think we can get rolling in their D zone, our O zone a little bit, and it's really about kind of the way we play and being, like I was talking about earlier, just being consistent with 60-minute effort.